Ah, that's right. Tell the truth. Hey, welcome to Pete Montfrey Tells the Truth. We're every Thursday at 11 a.m. Central on LinkedIn, right here on LinkedIn. We take on the hardest growth problems and questions, and we do something almost unheard of in the marketing world. We actually tell the truth. I know that's amazing. So the point is so that all of you can make better decisions and avoid wasting money on marketing that just doesn't work. So who am I? It's been said I'm like the Sherlock Holmes of marketing with the bedside manner of Gordon Ramsay, which I don't know if that's good or not. I've been featured in all these impressive media outlets, and I've owned and operated a marketing firm for 32 years, working with Fortune 100 and many smaller and growing clients, all in B2B. That's really what I've done, really my entire adult life. And you can learn more about me by hitting my LinkedIn profile. But today's a special day because I want to talk about something. It's a little dicey. It's a little bit dicey. It's something that people just don't really discuss in polite society or B2B, really. It's a four-letter word so fierce that soap will jump up immediately and fall right into your mouth just from uttering the word. It's a four-letter word. It's plan. The word is plan. Today's word of the day, plan. You probably don't have one. It's the one thing that makes marketing work. So I use this stat a lot on the program. Only 11% of marketers are happy with what they're getting from their marketing. Okay, that is a terrible record. And we have to wonder why. I don't really have to wonder because I've actually done research on why. We looked at over 100 companies, and we looked at all of their materials. We talked to their agencies. We talked to their marketing people. We talked to the executives. We talked to everybody. It took 3 years. And we were looking for threads that among the programs that succeeded and the ones that didn't succeed, by measurement of whoever's in charge, their idea of their perception of whether it succeeded or failed. And some of them were just abject, terrible, multi-$1,000 boondoggles. But there was one thing that we found in common in both the groups where their marketing did well and those that failed. And the difference was the absence of a plan. 100% of the failures, there wasn't a plan. There was no plan. Okay, and I'll talk a little bit more about we're going to get real specific in this one because this really is the secret to getting a return on your investment when it comes to marketing. And it doesn't have to be an onerous, long, brutal thing, but you got to have some kind of plan. So, and the thing I think is, what I've found is if you just ask somebody, do you have a plan? Everyone's going to say they do, and everyone's going to think they do, right? Who was it that said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth? I think that was Mike Tyson. But really what these folks are talking about is they have some kind of plan. It could just be in their head. Okay, if it's in your head, by the way, it's not really a plan. But I've seen 100, of these so-called plans, or hundreds of them over the years. And really, most of them are just lists of tactics, or kind of like a bastardized sales plan where it's a lot of just sales figures and pro forma, sort of made up stuff. But it's not a marketing plan, okay? I'm getting excited and talking loud, and my producer's saying the audio is too hot. So we'll give your ears a little bit of a break and turn it down. Turn it down, man. So lists of tactics, all right? So they're missing a few more dirty words. Research and strategy, all right? I'm sorry, Mom. I don't usually use this kind of language, but, we should have had a warning on the show. I thought we had one that it's for a mature audience only. But here's what's going on that I see in the marketing business that's causing the most misery. And this isn't to say anyone's smarter than anybody else, or I'm just talking about scientifically what works and what doesn't. Companies are buying tactics. When they think of marketing, they think tactically, right? They think we need a new website, we need to do SEO, we need to do pay-per-click, we need to do PR, we need to do email marketing, we need to do social, whatever that means. Okay, all of those are tactics, right? Tactics before strategy is the noise before defeat. Our buddy Sun Tzu said that. So we've had Mike Tyson and Sun Tzu quotes today. Tactics before strategy is the noise before defeat. You have to strategize first. Today's marketplace is an incredible Rube Goldberg machine of complexity. There's tens of thousands of things that you could possibly do, but there's really only a small subset of them that, one, you should be doing or will work for your type of business, and two, that you have the resources to execute. Okay, so it's a much smaller subset. Even then, there may be 10 different things going on in your marketing program. That sounds low to me. 15, 20 things, but a lot of different things that have to be kind of managed. And here's the ideal part of doing a plan first, having a strategy. You can look at those tactics. You can arrive at the right tactics in a scientific way, so they're most likely to be successful. And then you can look at them in a way, I always think of like the marionette guy. He's coordinating all of those strings and limbs, and they're all working together to create this illusion of movement, all right? If you don't have a plan, you have just tactics working on their own. They're not coordinating together and working off of each other and increasing. The Marines call this force multiplication. So you can't get let me put it in an easier way to understand. Your social media will perform better if you're doing PR and email marketing as well. All right, your ad campaigns will do better if you're doing 3, 4, 5 different other tactics. Everything will work better because everything's working together. There's only one way to get them to work together because it's so much information. By the way, your company is probably complex. Your market is probably complex. Okay? Marketing is pretty complex. So you bring them all together, you need a plan. Oh man, I said that word again. I'm embarrassed. I should have like a mature warning. There is going to be violence, nudity, dirty words, and other unseemly behavior on today's show. But a marketing plan. Let's just talk about marketing. There's your business is actually made up of a bunch of interlocking plans, right? Where you have your operational plans, you have your financial planning, you have sales planning. Where's your marketing plan? Where is it? All right. What does it look like? Is it branding? That's a tactic. Okay. If you think marketing is branding, that's a tactic. Should you do branding? Is that important for you? Does it matter to your clients? Usually. Maybe not if you're small. Every company is different. So by going through a planning process, which really, if you think about it, is just a disciplined way of making decisions, right? And so when you're making decisions in a disciplined way and also testing and using research, for example, really good thing to do, ask your customers. Ask them, why do they choose one Acme rubber stamp company over another? Okay, what's their criteria? How do they rank it? That'd be good information in formulating your marketing strategy, right? Competitive research. When's the last time? Think yourself this. When is the last time? Be honest. You can be honest with me, right? When is the last time you went and visited your competitors' websites? When's the last time you went and visited your own website, actually? Here, let's see. Ah, yes, we are live. There it is. I'm sorry. I had to go look at LinkedIn to find out what was going on. So if you have this disciplined process of making decisions and you have data that is from outside your organization, in other words, it's not full of your bias, all of us have confirmation bias, right? Another way of saying it is we can't see the forest for the trees, or we're too close to our business. What we're talking about is we see our business through a certain lens that isn't the same lens that the market might see that through, right? So by getting outside data and comparing it to what you think you know, you're going to be able to make better decisions. And this just takes a little bit of organization. If you don't have the organization, you're not sure how to do it, you don't know what a plan looks like. A marketing plan is actually a pretty specific document. It has, there are industry standards. I don't know if anyone's paying attention to them anymore. If anyone from the AMA can enlighten me on that, are there any standards anymore? Well, because I've been doing this for so long, yes, there is. And a marketing plan has certain components to it that are mandatory. Customer profiles, competitive analysis, cost of acquisition. Your marketing plan, it isn't just a list of stuff to do. There's a specific format for these kinds of things. And I don't know why companies are not willing to do it. I think it's because it's not the sexy work of marketing, right? It's not the Mad Men. Everybody wants to play Mad Men, right? Where it's like get real drunk and, put up a drawing of something, and it's just they're just on that show. They're literally just guessing. They used to do something called account research, and they would do a little research, but mostly it was like, hey, here's an idea. How about this? How about that? That's not how it works anymore. But planning, it's onerous. I mean, it kind of is, especially if you don't have some kind of framework to follow that kind of helps you organize. And if you have a team of people, it's even more of an argument to have some kind of framework so that the team can look at the information and then come to the same conclusions and make better decisions through a better decision-making process. So we do, why am I talking about this? We have a framework, okay? It's called MAPS. We've been using it for 30 years. We've been iterating it. It's a lean process for making decisions. We guide teams, help them make better decisions. We don't tell you what your strategy is. The data does. We can be an objective third party and look at that data without the confirmation bias. And we also know how much planning is appropriate for your business with your type of resources, right? Like I said, everything isn't a federal case. We're going to take the next 6 months to plan. No, you're going to do it in a month, and you're going to be executing and iterating and managing to that plan and using that plan for tracking metrics. And it really becomes, the plan itself isn't really the point of the deal. It's that you went through a process of questioning and you looked at your business from the inside and from the outside, and then you made decisions in some kind of order, being able to look at all the things together so you can, for example, recycle pieces of media. Without a plan, it's pretty hard to know that that you're going to take this white paper and turn it into 15 blog posts, and you're going to turn that into 4 videos, and you're going to recycle and recycle and recycle. That's part of what you do in the planning process. You figure all that out. You see the future, right? You can predict when you're going to get a return on investment. You're going to know that your budget is somewhere in the ballpark of the least amount to get the most results. And of course, all of this varies. Every company's different. 2 companies in the exact same industry in the exact same market might have completely different marketing plans, right? So here's a little bit of truth for you. You meet with a marketing agency, they talk to you for a couple hours, and they come back with a proposal detailing an entire plan, usually a list of tactics and numbers, prices. If you think that they know enough about your business in 2 or 3 hours to be able to lay out a plan for you, that should be a red flag. Your business is more complex than that. And there needs to be a little bit something more substantive before you decide, hey, let's do 20 grand a month on pay per click, and we're gonna do $5 grand a month on SEO, and let's redo that website. We'll spend 20 there, and we should see something in 30 days. No, you're not. It doesn't work that way. All right, you're just gonna spend a lot of money, and you're gonna be pissed off, and then, according to our research, you're probably going to do that like 3 or 4 more times. Then you're going to call me, and then I get to clean that all up. And that's really, a friend of mine, Christian Russell, calls it the hamster wheel of death, right? Where you keep reaching for a straw, changing the people out, the agency out, keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it ends up costing just a miraculous amount of money, and it generally does not get a return on investment. So if you want to make $1, or if you want to make $10 for every dollar that you put into your marketing, you're going to need a plan. Oh, right. I need some soap. I don't have any soap to wash my mouth out. These dirty, disgusting words. It tastes terrible, but you got to do it. My friend Matt Schultz would say you got to eat your vegetables before you eat the dessert, right? Your dessert is, let's make a cool ad. Let's make a video down at South by Southwest. All right. What are you going to do with that video once it's done? What's the purpose, objective of that video? How are you going to leverage that video and where? And how are you going to distribute it, right? All of that would be part of the plan. But everybody wants to make a cool video. Nobody wants to eat their vegetables, which would be doing a plan. And so I guess today's short episode, the moral of the story is you need to eat your vegetables and you need to swear like a sailor. Words like plan and research and metrics, and not vanity metrics, okay? Beware of those. These are metrics that marketing people and agencies use that look good to the client, but actually are not meaningful in terms of driving revenue or whatever the objective is. They're usually things that are easy to measure because we have the digital tools now to measure things. But most of it's bunk, to be honest. Chris Walker on LinkedIn talks a lot about attribution and how, we're getting these numbers from the digital marketers, and they're saying, hey, the SEO drove this many conversions and this many sales. But actually, the real customer journey might be that they received an email and they saw one of the executives speak, and they were doing some research and they ran across you, and then they found the website, and then they went on social media and they checked all that stuff out, and they looked into this, and they went to a lot of different things, hopefully, that you're controlling and putting out there, and then they converted into one of your channels. Maybe they responded to an ad. Maybe it was from SEO. Who knows, right? It's a system. The metric that counts is winning the customer, winning the deal, winning more than your fair share of deals. What's your close rate, right? What's your average transaction amount? We can't measure just the things that are easy to measure. Another terrible, dirty, disgusting word, measure. Oh, good marketing people love to be measured. I think it's maybe because my mom used to try to measure me all the time. She would put me up against a wall, put a pencil on my head. She's always measuring me. I don't know. So good marketing people want to be measured, all right? Not a dirty word. You don't need to, a $50 million company is going to need a different type of plan, different level of planning than a $2 million company, all right? A company that has a real high risk tolerance in the way that they operate will probably do less planning and less research than a company that has a lower risk tolerance, right? They want to reduce their risk through sound planning. It's as I'm sitting here talking about this, it's kind of funny to me because it's like saying, human beings need to drink water in order to live. I mean, everyone knows they should have a plan, right? But it still gets skipped. And they're just baffled as to why they can't seem to get marketing to work. All right? And we're all about making marketing work. This program, once a week, every Thursday we're on here. We have amazing guests. I don't know who our next guest is. Do you remember who our next guest is? I should have looked that up. But we've got a guy named Bill Lowell, who was one of my original mentors, who taught me a lot of this stuff. And it'd be nice to talk to him again after 20 years. So Angelo DeCaro? Oh, Angela Arnold is coming up next. So Angela owns a marketing firm called Arnold Marketing. So she'll be on here next week with me to probably offer some counterpoint. But you shouldn't have, if you're in business, you should know that you need a plan. You wouldn't try to build a house without a blueprint. Our company, we have something called the Master Marketing Blueprint, where basically it is a complete soup to nuts overarching marketing plan. Okay, we'll take your plans and build on them. If you don't have anything, we'll create it from scratch. We'll do the research. We'll provide the framework. We'll give you the objective input, which is what our true value is, because we've done this 1,000 times. Sometimes companies just need somebody objective to come in and look at what they're doing. Maybe they'll complete the plan. We call that we call it a master marketing audit, right? So we could do that. That's another way we can help. And then some companies just have us on as advisors as they're navigating the process. But you can do this yourself. In fact, we have a a workshop coming up called Conquer, and it is all about how to position your company or your offering so that your competition becomes absolutely obsolete, so that your prospects, they can't even compare you to your competitors. Okay, some of you that participate in RFP situations, maybe we'll talk to Angela a little bit about that. Talk about a rigged game, but this might make sense to you. The RFP process is an attempt by the prospect to level the playing field, right? They want everybody quoting on the same thing. Well, if everything's the same, the only thing left to evaluate is price, okay? That's why we haven't participated in an RFP process in 25 years. We learned our lesson early on, all right? You don't want a level playing field, right? You want to tip the playing field in your favor as much as possible. So in the workshop that we've got coming up, we'll put a link to it in the comments. I'm going to show you our process to position your company as the more preferred option of all the options that your prospects have. And believe me, they have a lot. And to do it so well that they can't compare you. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, that's a table tilted in your favor. And there's a way that we do this, and it's part of our process that I talked about, MAPS. But I'm going to show you. You don't have to hire me to do it, right? I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you the tools. I'm going to give you the tools, and I'm going to. There's a whole get a lot with it. So check that out. We'll put that down in the comments. But positioning, I mean, that's another seriously underutilized but crucial element of marketing that people don't think of, and that's part of that planning process. A marketing plan should have a section where you have a positioning statement, and in those 2 sentences it should say everything there is to know about your company and what makes you different, right? How many people have that? How many companies have that positioning statement? Very few that I've found, okay? Or maybe it's out of date. That's another thing that happens quite a bit. But if you don't have a clear differentiation, a clear position in the marketplace, you're going to be a Me Too company. Me Too. You're like like car dealers, right? If I want to get a Toyota 4Runner, a black one, and I want a certain package, I want specific things, I know that I can buy that exact same deliverable at 5 different businesses, okay? So what is it that you generally deal with when you buy a car? Price, all right? So CarMax comes out, and they sort of become known as the no haggling, one price. You just give the car a price. That's the price. You buy it, right? Now we've got Carvana, we've got all these new things, but back then, that was a very unique position. And so you can see how that really makes them completely different from other car dealers. But these ideas, they're not hard to understand. You can definitely do them. You just need to approach it with a process, and we're going to show you that. So today's topic, dirty words in marketing. I hope my rambling has been useful to you, all those out there in LinkedIn land. It's not very many of you yet, but you'll eventually see this. Let me refresh my page here just so that I don't want to miss anybody commenting, because we do get some whoppers with the comments. All right. How many is there? It's all us. It's all our own comments, so that's good. But at some point we'll talk about this media strategy as well. It actually doesn't matter what our live numbers are. We actually shoot this live because it's more efficient and convenient for us to do it all in one shot than it is to write it and shoot it and edit it and all that sort of thing. But the strategy is pretty unique, and we'll share that, I think, sometime on a future show of what we're doing exactly with these videos. And we're making 52 of these a year, and so that's a lot of video. And we hope that you'll share this video, and we hope that you'll like it and interact with it and comment. If you think the show is terrible, you can just tell me that. You're not going to hurt my feelings. If you think the show's awesome, it's always nice to hear that too. If you disagree with something I say, just keep that to yourself. No, you can disagree, chime in, but really all I'm saying today is, if you want your marketing to work, take it from somebody who knows, you need a plan. It's literally that simple. That is if you want a return on investment. If you just want to blow money, don't do a plan. Until next time, we'll see you on Tell the Truth.